come from a very, very like staunch Islamic family. So it's weird that I rap. Like, it's very weird. Yeah, I kept it low-key for a long time, but then, yeah. Come from a Muslim family and got a lot of, like, learned Muslim people in my family, like, call them Hufaz. Is somebody who memorizes the entire Quran.
Yes,
word for word. He can just drop it like that.
How long does it take to, like, memorize the whole? Because when you speak about the Quran, I'm thinking about the Bible in our religion.
Yeah.
And you know, we've been reading that thing since primary, since preschool. But I don't think anyone, even the bishops, can memorize that whole thing like that. They'll know quite a few, you know, verses that will stick out, but not the whole thing. So how long does it take? And is it a must? Is there a period for you to by this time you have to know this whole thing?
There's no set time on it. Most people it takes them like 2 years. Because like what happens is most people leave school, right? Like it's better to do it when you're young. So like niggas leave school and then they go to Ulum. Ulum is like a Islamic school.
Yeah.
And then in there you literally just spend every single day learning Quran as quick as you can do it. Like some people do it in 8 months, 2 months. No, not 2 months, but like, you know, months. And then you get people who do it for like 6 years. And that's for different reasons. You know, maybe our minds are not the same, first things first.
Yeah.
Other reasons could be like your spiritual state, you know, because it works a lot with your spirituality. Like, you can't, you know, music and Quran is such a crazy thing that it never mixes.
Wow.
Never mixes. Like, if you're really into music, you probably do your hifz in 8 years.
I don't know if this is like mosque or what the facility is, but you generally get that one place where it's some sort of music that comes from, like, it's usually from like these speakers, and it's a certain type of sonics. Is that not like a musical thing within Islam?
Yeah, I see you. That's called azan. It's like Allah.
Yes, like that there.
Yeah, that's azan. It's just a call to prayer.
Okay.
Yeah, so whenever you hear that, you know it's time for prayer. Yeah. It's not necessarily music, but it's melodic, you know.
Yeah.
Like, Islam is very melodic. Even the Quran, every line rhymes throughout the whole Quran. Like, it's a rhyming book.
But now, what do you mean when you say Islam and music don't mix?
Music is haram, right? That means forbidden in Islam. When it comes to memorizing the Quran, your heart needs to be pure of those things, like on God. Like, when you're focused on music, it's just really hard to memorize enough of the Quran to make progress, you know, and then you just get demotivated and you leave it aside. But, you know, it's easier to do it when you're just not focused on anything else besides that. So that's why people like literally leave school to go do it for 2 years and then come back, finish school, you're like 20, continue with life.
So now, how are you making music then, bro? How are you maneuvering around that? Especially as a hip-hop artist as well.
I am a sinner. Probably gonna sin again. You know, I just had to keep a balance. Like, if you listen to my music, though, like, I'm sure from now onwards you'd notice that he's Muslim, because I keep it clean, all the way clean. Like, I always try to keep a positive message because I just love hip hop, you know. So I do it with a little bit of a guilty conscience, but I love to do it. Like, you know, sometimes you just decide things for yourself.
It might be forbidden, but you're doing it and you're trying to keep it as pure as possible. People can learn about your religion and actually maybe even relate, so that maybe other Muslims who listen to your thing will be proud of it through your music, and it can start like literally a whole new
way.
Exactly, you know what I mean? So you can do it with a guilty conscience, but it's also a good thing that you're doing, because it's gonna teach, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
But it's also gonna introduce the music to the Muslims, you know what I mean? So I think it's a good thing.
But I mean, also, like, if you were doing it sort of low key, considering that you grew up in a very strict Muslim home, how did you become as good as you are? I mean, when did you even get time to make music? When did you get time to work around this passion of yours that is hip hop while living under such strict conditions?
Like, it was just low key. Like, I would always, I write on my own. I write in my room, quiet, like no one knows I'm writing type shit. And Like I would sometimes just leave home, say like, "Mom, I'm coming back. I'm gonna be with my friends," and I'm actually in the studio here in Kokoba, right here. And then I'm recording. I come back home. No one knows about the track, and it was like back then when I wasn't even uploading music anywhere, so I would have it on my phone, and whoever wants to know, I just Bluetooth, the song to him. So it was very low key. And then I noticed that, like, because even before I started rapping, like, I loved hip hop. And then I noticed, okay, getting better and better and better and better. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna push this, like, and then started making music. And then my mom came to find out, slowly. But she's not so much of a pressuring person. I think maybe she believes that if you were given the potential, just like use it. It's your life, use it. But then know yourself, basically. I did keep it low key, but now it's like everyone knows. My whole family knows now.
Has it had any effect on you learning the Quran at all?
I'm not a student of the Quran. It's a choice.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I have like, I say 2 cousins that are Hufaz and like learning to be. And like a couple of uncles. Females, there's not so much of pressure on their end to memorize the Quran, because like, I don't know, it's just like Islamic, the setup is different, But yeah, I used to try it. Like when I was younger, I tried it, and then I pushed for a while. I learned a bit, couple of like chapters, and I just like lost momentum and left it as it is. So like, I'm not actually studying it now, so it doesn't clash in any way, but it's still wrong for me. But I just keep it moving, keep making music. I focus on things that I am interested in.
I want to know with the girls now. Like, is there also like things you're not supposed to do?
Well, I'll start by saying South African Muslims, we're more like South Africans.
Yeah. Okay.
We're not like Muslims from like Arabia or whatever, like, better parts of the Islamic world.
Yeah.
So there are some practices that like anchor us, but we practice what South Africans practice. So the Islamic way is obviously like, you shouldn't have interaction with women
at all.
Yeah, if like maybe professionally, okay, like in school, okay, if you're related, okay, but if you can marry her, you gotta keep it professional. There's no dating in Islam, basically. There's no romantic relationship. There's no such a that unless you're married.
So how do you get to being married?
Families meet. I guess it's a cultural thing more. But Islamically, all that matters is the woman must approve the man. If she approves, okay, then she says how much she wants in terms of dowry, which is called meher. And I think minimum meher is like about 300 rand or something, 400 rand.
Wow.
I don't think I've heard of normal people wedding over like 20k. Never. It's always like 5,000, 3,000. Beautiful girls from wealthy families, it's like 10k. Because it's not about the money. And after you pay that, and then you just like sign papers, there's certain things you need to say, and after that you're married.
Let me look at marriages in Islam. Do they last in terms of percentages? Because the reason why I ask that is because you're painting a picture for me that says there's no dating, there's no romance or anything. So you can literally see a girl that you like and approach her and be like, I want to marry you, and she needs to approve. But then you don't know that person, and then you discover things into the marriage that you did not know about. So do Islam marriages work long term?
You see, that's like proper Islam marriage.
Okay.
Like that's how it's supposed to be. Like, suggested by the Quran, and probably how it was in the Prophet's days, and like, but nowadays it's not like that. You probably married. I mean, you probably dated, you slept together. My brother even got married after kids. Like, it happens that way. That's why it's very different, like proper Islam and like the societies that we live in. It's always different.
If I had to now convert into Islam, do I have to then check? Is the name given to me? Do I decide on my own that I'm going to be, say, maybe Abdul or whatever the case may be?
You see, I think with most converting situations, it's always someone behind it. Like, I know my mom. I'll tell you about a story with my mom. There was a friend of mine, or my brother's friend actually. So I think he comes from a Tamil family, and he wanted to become Muslim. So my mom chose a prophet whose story kind of symbolized him and gave him that name. Islam's like that. So maybe I know someone by the name Harun, right? And you remind me so much of Harun. Like, you know, just the way you are. So I just say, hey, I think the name Harun is cool for you. And then you look into the name, you see what it means. If you like it, you choose it. But if you have your own name that you've heard, like an Islamic name, and you just pick your own name. It's not, there's no real rules around it. But you are suggested to have a Muslim name. You can keep your name, but just like add Qasim or just add Yusuf. You know, just add a name.
In your ID as well?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you want to, I guess, in your ID. But as long as people refer to you, at least the Muslim people.
I really believe, I'm not saying everyone should convert to Muslims and to Islamic practices and everything, but because they are part of South African history, the things that we're learning now should be things like Zulu guys, Sotho guys, you know, white guys should be knowing like general knowledge, you know what I mean? Because there's Muslims around us, you know what I mean? The more you get to know about it, the more you realize it's actually a beautiful religion, bro. And I love the fact that it's not money driven, dog. Like with the marriages, it's not money driven, and that's I wouldn't say it's the mistake, but it's something that most religions and most cultures they get wrong, bro. Because it's the money first before everything else. You know what I mean? And because of that, the culture gets lost in between. So there's so much to learn from the Muslims.
Even if you go read on the internet and you get like talks where they're telling you good things about Islam, it won't connect until you actually like know a Muslim person, and then they give you like a real life perspective of what being a Muslim is like. You kind of get to see the religion compared to what people think Islam is. You know, it's like some slave system. It's not really that. You know, you just have to have certain disciplines to do what's compulsory to you. And then be yourself.
You know, just while we on the names now, looking at you as an artist, is it Luigee or is it Luigee, as in like Mario and Luigi? And sort of why that name? What is behind that? Is it like a pseudonym of some sort, or let us know on that?
It's actually both, because like I rhyme it depending on the line. You know, sometimes I'll say it's Luigi, and then I'm like it's Luigi. Like, you know, it's just how you want to say it. Before I used to keep the G-E-E like in caps, so that was like, it was like Luigi. No wait, Luigee. Yeah, that's how I used to say it, Luigee a lot. And now it's like Luigi. A lot of people just call me Luigi, like Mario. But that's actually how it started on. Cause I just put this on my story. Interesting. I used to go as Cass Dreezy, right? Like way back in 2012, and that was my mixed name. So I just took that. Added it to rap. I was like, let me flow with it. I love Drake, YMCMB. And then like I grew, like a few years later, I think it was maybe like 4 years later, I realized that, you can't be Cass Dreezy. Like, you can't be Jay-Z, Sharon. You can't do that. So I decided to pick a name, and I was just thinking about interests. And I landed on video games because at the time I was heavy. And like the name that stuck with me, my friend's nickname is Mario. So I was like, oh shit, I'm new to rap amongst my friends. Like, they were rapping before me and I joined them. I had talent and they knew this, but I wasn't known for it. I was just like, background personality amongst them. So I was like, you know what, I'm player two here. I am Luigi. So like I kind of embodied that at the time. And like as I'm doing it all these years, I feel like, you know what, it is a name that resembles me, because I'm not so much of a frontline character, very behind the scene type. So yeah, I kept Luigi. That's the name for me. It came from Mario though. And I changed the Luigi to Luigee just to give it that, the hip hop flair.
Makes a lot of sense, bro. And I was listening to the Fingerprint EP, and I noticed towards you had I think he might be a homie of yours as well that you feature. I think it's on the second track. Is it Hakeem? Yeah, he's good on the vocals, bro. He's really good. And how did Fingerprint EP sort of come about? Obviously 4 solid tracks on there. It
all happened in like a space of a week. We did a lot of music on like 2 different PCs here in Mobeni Heights. It's really close here. And both those PCs, like one crashed and one got stolen.
So you lost a whole lot of music.
Lost the music. But then the one that crashed, we kind of still have it. I think we just need to take the drive out or whatever. And that's what we wanted to do. But then we were like, no, let's do a fresh EP. Let's just get it into the studio now, record what we can, listen to what we have, and select a few songs. So there were some songs that were better than some songs on the EP, no lie, but then we felt like they were so good that they actually need like alone time. So I got together with June. I actually slept at his house that week, and legit just me, June, Graham, who's a cousin of MJ Summers, Beast, producer, and McLaren was on the production. He lives in Joburg. Leon on the production, that's a homie from Durban also. Yeah, it was those three producers. Leon had 2 tracks, and mixing and mastering was all done by June and Beast. The thing with me is a lot of my songs are old, so I get into studio, I get a beat maybe, and then I have a verse that just sounds like it's fit for this beat, and then as soon as I lace that, then I could come up with a hook, you know, and then maybe write a second verse, or maybe add, like, you know, half verse that I wrote, or just mix things up. That's how I make music. So yeah, it was made in like a process of a week. No sleep vibe, just added. And then I think the last song we made was the last song on the EP on my own, which was pre-recorded on one of the PCs you check. So we just felt like just re-record it and do it better.
So do you feel like the crashing and the one that got lost, do you feel like it was a blessing in disguise because you got to maybe redo and maybe have something sound a bit better than what you had? Do you feel like it was like a blessing, or was it like, it's a bummer?
I can tell you it's a bit of both, because I got to do on my own the way I wanted it to sound. That for me was major. And June didn't want it on the tape because it doesn't sound like the other 3 songs.
It doesn't
at all.
Wasn't a point that
yeah. But then like I was just so happy that I made it that way, and I felt like, we made it in this EP period. It just has to be there. And it's a bad thing because like there's some songs on like those computers that have amazing potential, you know, and I don't even know how to start re-recording them, because like I just love the way it sounded, and to record them is just like, oh man. So I just do new music all the time.
Tell us a bit about the makeup song. Firstly, who was this girl? We need to know, bro. You know, she broke your heart. We need to know who's responsible for this.
No, man, it's like, it's not even a person, to be honest with you. It's like, when I write these songs, I just draw from like different relationships.
Yeah.
And I kind of make personified, you know, I give it like one person. So maybe maybe back in 2017, I had my heart ripped out of my chest. Open your eyes, you probably see your blood stain on my vest. That's one story.
Okay.
But still I stand, a version of me at the gym, and I, man, still remember it like the back of my hand. You told me you're sorry, but your actions were contradictions. In fact, that girl might have not contradicted her apology. So I'm talking with someone else. I'm just kind of like, you know, giving it that one storyline feel.
And then the part where you're making up for the things that she did to you is also a different experience with someone else as well, type thing.
A whole lot. It's just like me sitting there and just grasping things, you know. Sometimes even one bar could be about 3 people type thing, you know. It's not necessarily about one person. I intentionally just wanted to make a song about having gone through heartbreak, you know, and this is the track, Don't Cry. This is the makeup song, making up for all the shit that person did to you.
And I really like what you said there, in that the last song is very different from the other 3, which basically for me, the EP sort of gave me an impression that there's something for everyone in there, because that last track has got a lot of trap elements in it, with the hi-hat, the way the hi-hats is going and whatnot. And then I look at a track like the first track that you've got on there, where you're speaking about the virus and the corona and all that. Like, you're speaking about real life experiences. You mentioned heartbreak there. And in the second song, Leno Hakim, you know, it's more like it's probably the most love driven one, you know, of them. So it's basically a well-rounded sort of EP. Was this sort of intentional? Did you sort of sit down and be like, I'm gonna shape this, you know, to entail, you know, everything and something for everyone, or did it just sort of manifest, you know, without you know, thought?
Those songs just turned out that way. It was just the beats I had at the time. You know, you hop on the beats you have. Yeah. So that, you know, type thing. So that's just the way it worked out. But then I can tell you that in terms of the track listing, that was intentional, because there's other songs that could have been on there. There's like more local sounding songs. There's like some good songs. I'll probably play it for you. Like I saw, okay, let's stick with the time. So I started with I Got the Rona was the first track, and then the track with Hakeem. That's like the love song, you know, touches there. And then it's the makeup song, which is like a heartbreak song. And then after that, the last track is called On My Own. So it's from personal to savage in a way, you know, it's just the way it flows. It's like love, heartbreak, fuck it, I'm on my own. That's how it worked out in the track listing. But in terms of those songs being made, it just the way it happened.
Is this EP sort of a setup for something bigger?
Yeah, we already started working on a music video for the song Touch with Hakeem. I think maybe one day of shooting left. But I'm going to finish that after Ramadan. You know, I just take this time to just kind of be in a spiritual space. After that, you know, we drop a music video. We drop some of those singles that we held back from the EP. Like, there is a lot of music, you know, we can drop an album. But I feel like maybe we look at the reception of the EP after a few months, and then that'll determine if we do another EP or we go album, you know. Yeah, because I personally want my first album to be at a point where I'm like in.
Tell us about the music video, that you guys are shooting, you know. What are the vibes?
It's like acting. Certain parts, it's like a lot of acting, but it's not scripted acting in a way. It's just like expressing what the lyrics are saying in some parts. And shot some at Botanical Gardens, we shot some at the harbor here, Wilson's Wharf and stuff. You know, some in-house shots, some stuff on the streets, you know, but we're just trying to capture Durban. And we shot some couples on the streets and stuff. So we're trying to like bring Durban in to see it, but at the same time give them their love stories in spaces where they love, you know, like Botanical Gardens. So yeah, that's basically all we're trying to do. The concept changed so many times of the video, and like so many different people were involved, but we just came to one conclusion, and yeah, we're almost done with it now.
Being a hip-hop artist in Durban, how has that been for you, bro? Do you get the necessary push, the necessary bookings, the necessary everything you feel like you should be getting?
I feel like in Durban, like, people that are underground, right? I'm gonna talk about underground first, like very underground. Those people are always open to work. Like, that's what I like about Durban. But then, you know, I wouldn't call them people in the industry, but like people who can get you there. You know, people who can see, okay, there's talent here, and I like your music. They keep telling you, yo, bro, I F with you, bro, it's fire, it's fire. Those people don't want to work with you. That's what I don't like about Durban, you know, because it's a lot of fake love. And that's like the worst part. But like, in terms of, okay, the industry, I haven't been exposed to too much gigging. You know, I performed maybe like 9 times. I can count them, you know. It was all great performances though, and all free. You know, that's a very Durban thing.
Yeah.
Very Durban. So that's what I don't like. I don't like the fact that the industry is not, you know, it's not both ways. People want to receive, but not really willing to invest into you. You know? And I don't like that. But there's a lot of creatives. There's a lot of people on the underground level who you can really connect with. You know, like meeting you guys, for me, this feels like real connection.
Yeah.
And you might not necessarily be hip-hop, but you're like a part of Durban's hip-hop underground community, and it's like genuine, you know? Whereas if it's maybe a podcast that's kind of getting some play out there, you know, thousands of views on each video, and niggas, they probably won't F with you, even if they feel that you're super talented. That's what I don't like, you know? But it's a good space for creatives, and I think it's helping me just learn more about myself, really, Durban. Yeah, it's personal.
And you know, I think one thing as well that will a lot of people will be surprised about is that you're a multi-talented person. You don't just do hip-hop, you're also part of a certain group of individuals who are doing something that basically contributes towards, you know, culture or the culture. So tell us a bit more about that, you know, what it's called and how you are sort of involved in that.
I actually prepared this answer yesterday.
Glad we asked.
I felt like you're going to ask it, I swear, but like I forgot what I prepared. But I can tell you then. So, okay, if you don't know and you're listening, some people know me for music. Some people don't know me for music at all. They know me for podcasting. You know, some people know me for journalism. It's different. But I do those 3 things. And well, we started this group called 031 TV. It was like 10 of us at the time, so we had to start like a media company first, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And we call it 20 Hands Media House, on some creative shit because it's 10 people.
Yeah.
And then it's like 9 of us. All of a sudden, it's 8 of us, and it's like 7.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
That's how it is. And then we were like really, really driven by that because like the first video we ever uploaded got like 1,200 views, and we're like, what the hell? And then we kept going, and we started a new show, and we kept going, and then Corona hit, and everyone went back home. Like some of the people live like back in Amakaya, I think I refer to it as. So that split just kind of interrupted a lot. And Caitlin, who's actually like, well, this is my personal view of it.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin, who's like a major part of the show, she's like our main host.
Yeah.
She had to move back to Margate. Mm-hmm. So when that happened, like the show couldn't really go on until like we, a better time. And yeah, so like 031 TV is on pause. It's not over. So for now, I'm Luigee, the musician.
Yeah.
Solely because I can focus on that. And so like obviously multi-talented. I can do a lot of things, but I like to think of myself as a writer.
Yeah.
I'm just a writer. I can write different things no matter what the format might be. So yeah.
And obviously you studied journalism.
Yeah.
And would you say the fact that this is probably one of my last questions, but the fact that you studied journalism, would you say that there are some elements within journalism that you might maybe take with you into the hip hop side of things and vice versa?
Interesting. Propaganda. Yeah, I feel like there's some hip hop propaganda. Like studying journalism made me aware of hip hop propaganda, I'll say. So I don't know. Like I haven't thought about that, but from the writing aspect of journalism, definitely did help my musical writing. That I can tell you for sure. Because like before I just used to write rhymes, and then like I learned a basic thing of like the 4 W's and the H, what, where, when, how, that type of thing. So I kind of inculcate that into my musical writing, and that way your story is more, it's more solid. So there are some things from journalism that I pushed into hip hop, but it was just mainly like knowing how to write your music. Writing in journalism did help me with that.
I think it's a dope thing to be able to also dab into other things in the entertainment sphere. You know what I mean? There's something that really bothered me. There's a guy called Nota. I don't know if you guys know Nota. Very controversial guy in the industry. When he was doing an interview with Mac G this one time, he was saying the likes of Shane Eagle are not necessary in the industry because 1 minute you find them rapping, 1 minute you find them presenting. And I'm like, I disagree with that because as an artist, you're creative and it doesn't really box you to music only. You have the likes of Tupac acting. You have the guys doing presenting, starting shows. You know what I mean. The more you grow, the more something out of you is born. You know what I mean. The more you grow musically, you grow into other spaces as well. You know what I mean. And you shouldn't be limited. If you want to do that, do that. You know what I mean. 100%. Yeah, it all falls under you growing as an artist because you now, I can say, versatile. So I really like the fact that you also got podcasts and journalism. It's a good thing. It shows that there's growth, and the more you grow, something else will probably come up. You know what I mean. And you shouldn't be shy as an artist now to try that out. You know what I mean. Don't have this pressure of people know me for rapping. They're gonna say, nah, I wanna do this. Nah, that's you growing. Just wing it. You know what I mean?
And it's nice that it has helped you grow as well, because you said you've taken some of the journalism aspects and you've added them into the hip hop, and it's made you a better artist. So shout out Andile. I don't know if you have any remaining on your side. So with that being said, bro, I guess it being at the end of the show, what is next for Luigee?
Luigee's coming with a music video for Touch. Please look out for that. Please, because it's my second music video and this time it's proper, guys.
What are you saying? The previous one wasn't proper?
Like, okay, even the homie that made it with me, like, this is our joint opinion that it was good for what it was because it's the first one.
Yeah.
But like, we can see so many flaws in it. Like, you can just see right through that. Oh, this is amateur, you know. So the next one, it might still be amateur. You know, we're still on the amateur level, but we coming hard this time. And more music, obviously, bro. More South African sounding music, particularly.
Yeah.
Kwaito elements. I wouldn't say so many house elements, but a lot of Kwaito elements. Not very Kwaito sounding though, but you're gonna hear it, you're gonna feel it. Yeah, man, just a lot of African music. That's what I'm focusing on. And outside of music, there's some shows we got lined up. I'm actually working on a documentary now with an artist called Ziggy Stardust. We've been selected and like we're working on this amazing, like it's an amazing opportunity for us, and expect more selfies and dope outfits on Instagram. Always.
Shout outs. And obviously if people want to get in touch with you, bro, where can they sort of find you on social media? I'm
on Instagram as luigee.mp3, so that's luigee.mp3, and I'm on Twitter as luigee_mp3, that's luigee_mp3. I don't really use Facebook, but you can find me on Kasim, that's KASSIM
Obviously with us, you know, the episodes are available on SoundCloud, Spotify, basically everywhere. We are Sludge Underground Podcast, and on social media, Twitter at Sludge031, on Instagram at Sludge Underground, and obviously Facebook at Sludge Underground as well. As for myself, it's at Zwane031. Andile, who are you online?
On Facebook, it's Andile Nasiphi Mathonsi. Instagram, it's at Lunati_drops, as well as on Twitter, and Lunati is a double I.
That's proper. So Luigee, I almost called you Kasim, bro. I almost, but we just want to thank you, bro, for actually coming through to the show and inviting us into your home. And yeah, thank you for just tuning into this episode and learning about him with us. Until next time, it's bye for now.
Back in 2017, I had my heart ripped out of my chest. Open your eyes, you probably see a blood stain on my vest. Yeah, but still I stand. No version of me like the Gemini man. Still remember it like the back of my hand. You told me you sorry, but your actions were contradictions in fact. Yeah, it's like Ronaldo with the number 7, how I always covered your back. Had to learn to deal with the damage. I couldn't be the type of loser always claiming he had him. Sad stories don't fly with demand him. I changed my whole life until this day. I doubt that you understand it. You always call me to lecture me about infidelity. Meanwhile, I don't know an entity that could change my energy. Real niggas relate to it. I could never stop loving you like I'm out of break fluids. Yeah, I can finally admit that I'm over it. Yeah, who knew it would take so long? I had to be patient and strong. Running late while you put your makeup on. Every time I heard a breakup song, I felt guilty thinking I'm the one that was wrong. Shit, but it's the makeup song. I'm making up for all the shit that you did to me. Down today, tomorrow I rise. That's the way you behave when you know you're the prize. So I'm up and away, only limits the sky. Making up for all the shit that you did to me. Ain't no you and I, it's us and you. Toxic imbalance, causing the beef and feud. I'm on the loose, catching up on my ones and twos. Making up for all the shit that you did to me. Love. So easy to define it, but how come it's anything but easy to find it? Nowadays, when I do find it, I never mind it because of the memories and energies that surround it. And I don't want to be around it. Looking for a professional girl, pro-finding, prolific, with the vibe she providing. So vibrant and the memories rewinding. Yeah, I can finally admit that I'm over it. Yeah, who knew it would take so long? I had to be patient and strong. Running late while you put your makeup on. Every time I heard a breakup song, I felt guilty thinking I'm the one that was wrong. Shit, but it's the makeup song. I'm making up for all the shit that you did to me.
You never gave me as an enemy. You were still a friend of me. You never gave me as an enemy. You were still a friend of me. Nice story. Next track.